What a sound. See it?
Look.
They say that extinction is part of nature's law to cull out the weak. But what happens when animals decide to break this law, refusing to be forgotten? From prehistoric creatures roaming today's Earth to myth-like animals getting captured on film, there are 30 animals believed to be extinct caught alive on camera. Petsoporus occidentalis, more commonly known as the night parrot, is one of 3 species of ground parrots presumed to be extinct for the past 100 years. In April 2015, Dr. Stephen Murphy finally became the catalyst for its rediscovery after this happened. The night parrot was thought extinct due to its elusive nature, rare sightings, and habitat destruction across Australia. However, through perseverance and unwavering confidence, scientists were able to capture, study, and release one back into the wild. Fortunately, this magnificent creature was discovered again for us to admire. The Pondicherry shark is a small shark species found in the Indo-Pacific region's coastal waters that is thought to be extinct.
Regulated, and as a result, many sharks are caught and killed every day.
So they brought us out 2 specimens, and they might look really similar at first.
Researcher and wildlife explorer Forrest Galente believes otherwise, though, as he travels to remote areas in search of the shark.
And this one's a bull shark because of the length between the eyes and the snout. This one you can see is a little longer, it's more relative. It's also got a slightly pointier snout. So you can see especially on these.
In this video, Forrest's wife, Jessica Summerfield, decides to explore a market while her husband searches for the predator in the waters. After receiving a tip, she immediately goes to the market to meet the fisherman claiming to have captured the extinct animal.
Be a Pondicherry shark.
Jessica takes a small clipping of the fin, and she also removes a tooth. These samples.
She takes a sample from the animal's body and teeth to send to the lab for genetic testing. The news they received that day made for a shocking revelation.
I'm like on the edge of my seat. The whole team's here.
Yeah, we found a Pondicherry.
Are you 100% sure?
Efforts are now made to search for more of the species after their discovery. The Veltskou's chameleon has not been observed by scientists since 1913. Because of this, the species was thought to be extinct. Luckily, a group of wildlife conservationists working for the Lost Species Program surprisingly discovered something shocking on an expedition in 2018.
These animals, native to northern Madagascar, had not been observed by scientists since 1913.
Veltskou's chameleon is a rare, colorful chameleon species from Madagascar, rediscovered in 2018 after being unseen for decades.
Conservationists with Global Wildlife Conservation's Search for Lost Species program rediscovered these reptiles.
Veltskou's chameleon differs from others by its short lifespan, unique coloration during pregnancy, and specific habitat in northwestern Madagascar. These chameleons are extremely rare, with limited sightings since their rediscovery, making them vulnerable to habitat loss and extinction.
On an expedition in 2018. It was the first time the female Veltskou's chameleon had ever been studied.
Hopefully, we can make more of an effort to keep this species of chameleons existing. Pinocchio lizards are rare, long-nosed anoles from Ecuador's cloud forests, known for their distinctive elongated snouts in males. These lizards were thought extinct after no sightings for decades, until their rediscovery in 2005 in Ecuador's cloud forests.
Amphibians and reptiles.
So this is the Pinocchio lizard.
Yeah, this is the Pinocchio lizard. There's a name
have this.
Despite the rediscovery, these lizards remain very rare today, with limited sightings and a small fragmented population, making them conservation priorities.
Like appendix in the face, probably for sexual selection, to finding females, and also to doing this display to defend.
Their presumed extinction was likely due to deforestation, habitat loss, and their elusive nature making them difficult to locate. The snout of Pinocchio lizards is primarily used for male displays during mating rituals, and possibly for species recognition.
In the territory is one of the most weird lizards in the world so far, and also very, very dangerous. They are so much like moss pattern, and all the branches are very.
Unfortunately, only a few people can manage to see one in person, as they are quite rare. New Guinea's singing dogs are rare wild canines known for their unique vocalizations, native to New Guinea's highland forests.
This dog can sing, or at least it can yodel.
Despite around 200 singing dogs, descendants of those captured in the 1970s residing in conservation centers or zoos, the breed hasn't been seen in the wild for 50 years. In 2016, the New Guinea Highland Wild Dog Foundation made a breakthrough when researchers in Puncak Jaya, Papua, Indonesia, observed a pack of Highland wild dogs with vocalizations similar to the New Guinea singing dog.
Thought to have been extinct, has been spotted in its natural habitat for the first time in 50 years. The New Guinea singing dogs are known for their unique howls, barks. The canine.
This prompted researchers to gather genome samples from the wild dogs, and they amazingly discovered that these were the original breed of the New Guinea singing dogs. Thanks to this research, we now know that the original breed is still existing in the wild. This man was just trying to walk to work, minding his own business like any other normal day in his life. Little did he know that what he thought was going to be a normal day was going to turn into something shocking. The man immediately pulls out his phone to record the creature flying in the sky. His reaction is understandable, as how else would you react if you saw a pterosaur flying in the sky today? Good thing he managed to record this surprising encounter on camera. The crested gecko is a species of arboreal gecko from New Caledonia known for its distinctive crest-like skin extensions and vibrant colors.
Grow on limestone formations with lots of cracks and holes, an ideal habitat for ground-dwelling lizards and other creatures.
In 1866, these geckos were classified as extinct, but sightings were reported up until 1994. Things suddenly changed, though, after the company called Exoterra decided to investigate and search for them, finding this.
Corylophus ciliatus was first described in 1866 by Guichen, but in 1883, Boulanger classified it in the genus Raccoon.
Although kept in large numbers in captivity, little is known about their natural life, as they were unable to be spotted for more than a century.
For more than a century, the species was no longer spotted, and Bauer and Sadlier labeled it as probably extinct.
Now we can study these animals better in their natural habitat, as observing them safely without disturbance proves to be easier. Their recent rediscovery is proof of these animals' increasing numbers. A species is considered extinct when there are no remaining individuals in the wild or in captivity despite extensive searches. This is exactly what happened for a particular species called the mahogany glider.
This one here is one of 3 very old specimens that were collected in 1886. And this was really the thing that...
These animals were first discovered in 1883, and after 100 years of no sightings, they were deemed extinct. Years later, in 1989, scientists made the rediscovery of a lifetime after seeing this.
honest, it was the same thing that had been seen 100 years ago was suddenly materialised, and it was never given a common name. They were the most magnificent.
The mahogany glider is a critically endangered marsupial from northeastern Australia, known for its gliding abilities and distinct mahogany-colored fur.
The reason for their demise, it's been humans. We've knocked down habitat for sugarcane and bananas, and highways as well to make.
Conservation and repopulation efforts are now in place to save these magnificent animals. Lord Howe Island was once home to one of the largest insects of its time. In 1918, a supply ship decided to make an emergency docking on the island, causing a terrible problem.
A supply ship by the name of the SS McCandle ran aground, requiring temporary evacuation. Stowaway rats had escaped and quickly took a left.
Rats on board the ship quickly adapted to the new environment of the island, immediately causing mass population damage to the native insect population of the island.
This would be the beginning of the end for the Lord Howe Island stick insect, and by 1930, the species was believed to have...
One of the victims of said massacre was the Lord Howe Island stick insect, and by 1930 they were officially deemed extinct. Later in 2001, though, a shocking discovery was made.
In 2001, scientists finally found what they were looking for: an isolated population of 24 individuals living under a...
Surprisingly, the insects weren't rediscovered on the island, but on a large volcanic rock structure 20 kilometers away. Repopulation efforts immediately began and, thankfully, succeeded.
But they unfortunately passed away only a couple weeks later. The remaining two were placed in the hands of Patrick Honan from the Melbourne Zoo, and fittingly named...
Witnessing these species come back from the brink of extinction is truly inspiring. The Chacoan peccary is a medium-sized wild pig native to South America's Chaco region, adapted to dry, semi-arid habitats. Chacoan peccaries are considered near threatened, with declining populations due to habitat loss and hunting pressures. Seeing a Chacoan peccary in the wild is quite rare, making it a notable and fortunate sighting due to their elusive nature. The animal in the video then retreats into the bushes to hide. A black leopard, also known as a melanistic leopard, has a genetic mutation causing its fur to appear entirely black. Normal leopards are already hard to spot in the wild, but these experts managed to capture this on camera. Black leopards are rare, with melanism occurring in only about 11% of leopard populations, mainly in dense forests. Spotting and tracking black leopards is extremely difficult due to their nocturnal habits, elusive nature, and camouflage in dense forests. The video ends with the predators disappearing into the forest once more. Forrest Galante, a wildlife explorer, heads into the jungles of Madagascar in search of the rumored pachylemur. During an initial investigation using a drone, he and his team managed to record a very shocking scene.
That huge leap from that tree to the next one with perfect precision. That's something you would never ever see. You'd never see them leaping at night from the ground.
With the high lemur traffic in the area, he begins to feel confident about spotting the elusive pachylemur. A few days later, they head deep into the forest and find something unbelievable.
10 to 25 years, we have to get some footage of them. This is the closest living animal to the
pachylemur, better known as the Kisuala, is an extinct genus of large lemurs native to Madagascar, resembling modern-day ruffed lemurs. Pachylemurs were last seen around 500 to 1,000 years ago before they went extinct, likely due to human activity.
At nearly 4 feet in length, the red-ruffed lemur is just a foot short of a pachylemur. And man, are they loud.
what you can.
Despite being unable to find their target, they still managed to record another rare lemur species. The video begins with a photographer and a camera crew recording him trying to find the elusive Australian tree kangaroo. While on assignment in far north Queensland for Australian Geographic, photographer Bill Hatcher photographed something extremely rare.
You can never tell which tree they're going to be in because in the wintertime they're right out in the sunlight.
The wild Australian tree kangaroo is a rare marsupial adapted to arboreal life found in Australia's tropical rainforests, particularly Queensland. Wild Australian tree kangaroos are extremely rare with very limited populations due to habitat loss and hunting pressures.
In summertime they drop down below the canopy in the jungle. They can get them in the wintertime right on the top of the tallest tree in the...
They managed to get extremely lucky, finding them only after a few days of searching. Caitlin McKay, a tourist visiting Clearwater, Florida, began recording with her phone after seeing a group of dolphins in the area. Little did she know that what she was about to capture on film would become her greatest discovery. Albino dolphins are rare dolphins with a genetic mutation causing them to lack pigmentation, resulting in completely white or pinkish skin. They are extremely rare in the wild, with only a few documented cases worldwide due to their unique genetic condition. I'm sure she had to review the footage multiple times in disbelief at what she saw. Did you know Bermuda petrels were thought to be lost forever from 1620, with no sightings for 330 years, until rediscovered in 1951, earning them the title Lazarus species? The Bermuda DENR managed to film this despite their rarity. Lazarus species refers to organisms thought extinct but later rediscovered alive, named after the biblical story of Lazarus rising from the dead. Bermuda petrel sightings are very rare as the species was rediscovered only in the 20th century, after disappearing for centuries. This on-camera pair has been together since 2009, using the same burrow every year and successfully fledging for the last 4 years. They only visit and court at night during nesting season, leaving for the sea during the day. Zephyrus gladius, or Chinese paddlefish, is a freshwater fish native to the Yangtze River, known for its long paddle-shaped snout. According to numerous sources, the last one of its species was seen alive in 2002. They were officially declared extinct in 2020, sparking numerous searches for the animal. Chinese paddlefish became extinct due to habitat loss, pollution, and overfishing, which severely disrupted their natural breeding and living conditions. Despite their extinction, rumors and occasional sightings of Chinese paddlefish still circulate, though none have been confirmed since their last known sighting. Unfortunately, we are left wishing that these beautiful animals still exist. Guam rails are flightless, critically endangered birds native to Guam, known for their small size and reliance on dense forest habitats. Guam rails are extinct in the wild due to predation by invasive species like snakes and habitat destruction in Guam. During this trip to the wild, though, a wildlife enthusiast gets the surprise of a lifetime after managing to record something extremely shocking in the forest. The explorer continues recording the animal, knowing that this could very well be the last time he or she is going to see the bird. Sadly, little is known about this video, and what happens next is unknown. Flying squirrels were once commonly seen in various forests and woodlands across their range, thriving in diverse tree-filled habitats. Now, flying squirrels are endangered and rarely seen due to habitat loss, deforestation, and environmental changes impacting their populations. This footage, recorded in the wild in southwest China, comes as a shock as these animals are no longer expected to be seen in the wild. Due to their dwindling numbers, spotting flying squirrels, also known as flying foxes, in the wild is now considered a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Hopefully, we can bring these magnificent creatures back from the brink of extinction. Flora and Fauna International and other partner organizations set up cameras in the forest in hopes of recording a very elusive bird. After months of failure, this seemingly normal day turned spectacular after scientists and researchers managed to record this. The Waigeo brush turkey is a rare, large bird native to Waigeo Island, Indonesia, known for its unique nesting behavior and vibrant plumage. The Waigeo brush turkey is hard to spot and record due to its elusive nature, dense habitat, and limited population on Waigeo Island. The encounter is short, but the memories will surely last a long time. This clip begins with camera footage of a very dark forest as the sounds of wildlife echo throughout the woods. What was supposed to be normal surveillance footage suddenly becomes surprising after this happens. The pygmy hippo is a small, reclusive species of hippopotamus native to West Africa, particularly in the dense forests of Liberia and surrounding regions. Pygmy hippos are extremely rare, with their populations declining due to habitat loss, poaching, and fragmentation, making them endangered. The animal then walks away from the camera's view, ending the encounter. This next footage begins like any normal fishing trip would. A group of friends just trying to enjoy the view while waiting for the fish to bite. This quickly changes, though, as something terrifying decides to visit them. There have been occasional rumors and reports suggesting sightings of a Loch Ness monster-like creature in Loch Foyle, although these remain unverified. Unfortunately, the camera work in this clip doesn't show the creature clearly, making it hard to identify what it is. Do you think they saw a monster that day? Or was it just a whale? It's no secret that spotting leopards in the wild proves to be a hard challenge due to their exemplary camouflage and elusive nature. But these tourists managed to record something more impressive while they were in the Malaysian reserve. What you're seeing in the video is a Bornean clouded leopard. Bornean clouded leopards are rare, elusive wild cats native to Borneo, known for their striking cloud-like fur patterns and arboreal lifestyle. Bornean clouded leopards differ from normal leopards by their smaller size, shorter legs, longer canine teeth, and distinctive cloud-like coat patterns. This encounter doesn't last long, though, as the animals immediately go back into hiding. Snow petrels are rarely seen on land, as they are mostly observed flying or snowbathing in the high mountains or at sea, commonly around large icebergs. This local managed to record this clip, though, despite the unusual circumstance. Snow petrels are rarely seen on land because they spend most of their lives at sea, only coming ashore to breed in Antarctica. Seeing a snow petrel on land at sea level is extremely rare and considered very lucky due to their preference for the remote Antarctic breeding sites. The bird recorded was possibly a new-fledged or an inexperienced youngster. The Albany adder is a rare species of pit viper native to the eastern Cape of South Africa, known for its distinctive pattern and venomous bite. Believe it or not, these animals were once thought to be nearly extinct, but recent sightings and this video prove otherwise. The Albany adder is extremely rare, with very limited known populations confined to specific regions in the eastern Cape of South Africa. They are unlikely to be recorded on camera due to their rarity, elusive behavior, and the challenging terrain they inhabit. It seems like whoever was recording this video got lucky that day. Imagine walking around the forest, just trying to photograph nature, when you unexpectedly stumble upon a treasure chest. This is exactly how this adventurer felt after he managed to record something surprising. The great reed warbler was officially named extinct back in the early 1900s, but surprisingly it was rediscovered during extensive field surveys in 2006, after being thought extinct in the wild for over 100 years. After rediscovery, extensive measures were immediately taken to preserve the animal population. Leopards are hard to spot in the wild due to their excellent camouflage, solitary nature, and stealthy behavior, making them elusive and difficult to detect. Footage released by one of China's nature reserves suddenly surprised scientists and researchers after it was released.
Strolling past the camera, the emu leopards look to be in the prime of life. Just released by forest authorities, the clips show that
Amur leopards differ from common leopards by their lighter, paler coats with fewer rosettes, adapted to cold, temperate forests in Russia and China. It is believed that only 40 of them remain in the wild.
and northern parts of the Korean peninsula. Leopards are endangered, with only 40 thought to be left in the wild.
This, along with their species' naturally elusive nature, makes it hard for researchers to record and study these animals to further the efforts for their conservation. The video doesn't last long, though, as the animal disappears into the wild once again. A team of scientists and conservationists set up hidden cameras in the forests of Ferguson Island in hopes of rediscovering an extinct bird rumored to still exist. Their efforts finally paid off after a surprising visitor decided to visit their camp. Local hunters have seen the bird multiple times over the years, but this video is the first scientific documentation since 1882. Ornithologists know little about the species, but think the black-naped pheasant pigeon population is small and declining. At the beginning of this encounter, a rodent can be seen walking up in front of a trail camera placed by a researcher in Bonorong Wildlife Sanctuary. However, upon reviewing the video, the researcher was shocked to see what he managed to record. The eastern quoll is a carnivorous marsupial native to Tasmania, known for its spotted fur and nocturnal arboreal habits. They are rare, with populations significantly declining due to habitat loss, predation by invasive species, and other environmental pressures. This encounter proves to be a surprising sight for the unsuspecting researcher. The brown booby is a seabird found in tropical and subtropical oceans, characterized by its brown plumage, white belly, and strong diving skills. These birds are more commonly found in Florida and Hawaii, but locals have reported spotting these birds in Windham, Connecticut recently. This is extremely surprising, as experts believe that this video is the first recorded sighting of the bird in state history. Brown boobies are now seen in new locations due to shifting ocean currents and changing environmental conditions influencing their migration patterns. This may be a once-in-a-lifetime sighting, but it's also a sign of the changing environment. This homeowner was just minding his own business one day, dealing with the gopher infestation that's been plaguing him for a couple of weeks now. While disposing of the gophers, he manages to record something unexpected.
So awesome.
Black-footed ferrets are small, endangered mammals native to North America's prairies, known for their black feet, slender bodies, and nocturnal habits. Despite the circumstances, this rare animal certainly made that homeowner's day.